Hi everyone, my name is Catherine Ho, and today I'll be exploring the ethos and pathos arguments and evidence in episode 2 of Devil in the Family, The Fall of Ruby Franke. This documentary recaps Mormon mom influencer Ruby Franke's arrest and how YouTube's perfect mom ended up being charged with child abuse. Why I chose this documentary? Well, first off, I chose this doc because I love crime scene documentaries, and two, I have a particular interest and familiarity with Ruby Franke as I remember watching her YouTube channel when I was in high school. Additionally, I'm fascinated by the effect social media has on our society and the human conquest for perfection. In this case, despite Ruby Franke's perfect mom image online, behind the scenes something much darker was lurking. How often do people we admire online turn out to be the ones we should fear the most? This really made me question who and what I can trust. Central thesis. The central thesis of episode 2 is that Ruby Franke's abuse was influenced by a combination of online influence, misguided religious authority, and systematic failure. Having millions of followers on YouTube gave her an audience, which ended up pushing her to obsess over being the perfect mother. At the same time, religious authority figures like Jodi Hildebrandt gave her dangerous advice under the guise of spiritual healing. And finally, institutions that should have intervened, like Child Protective Services, failed to stop the abuse. The ethos, argument, and testimony. After facing backlash online, Ruby decides to focus on parenting her children, still wanting to prove that she is the perfect mom. When her son Chad was suspended from school, Ruby was introduced to Jodi Hildebrandt, a local family therapist. The documentary uses ethos techniques interviewing Brandon Patrick, a licensed clinical social worker who studied under Jodi, and Paige Hanna, who was a close friend with Ruby and an ex-member of the Connections family. This testimony against Hildebrandt built credibility, revealing the truth. Patrick shared how Hildebrandt preyed on the weak, exploiting people's vulnerabilities for control. This expert testimony highlights Hildebrandt's misguided intentions. Another insider, Paige Hanna, former Connections member, said that she viewed Jodi as her god. This showed the extent of how manipulated Hildebrandt was. Jodi Hildebrandt and Ruby Franke grew increasingly closer while working together at Connections. As their relationship deepened, Hildebrandt confides in Franke, claiming she is being haunted by demons. Jodi preys on the Franke family and ends up moving into their family home. Ultimately, influenced by Hildebrandt, Ruby kicks out her husband and two oldest children as she believes they are causing Jodi harm. Pathos argument and personal experience. The second rhetorical strategy that the documentary used was pathos, appealing to the audience's emotions through personal experience. Episode 2 contained a raw, uncomfortable footage from the Eight Passengers YouTube channel. These clips, featuring multiple family members, emotionally appeal to the audience as we witness the abuse firsthand. In a specific clip, Ruby is seen punishing her teenage son Chad, taking away his bedroom and making him sleep on a beanbag chair for months. In the clip, Chad looks visibly broken and defeated, while Ruby casually explains this punishment as totally normal. It's a powerful way to make us emotionally invested in the story. After seeing how easily Ruby is able to hide the abuse behind a perfect mom image, what does that say about how we can trust what we see online? An online presence is not a reflection of credibility, and we need to be more cautious. In conclusion, the documentary used ethos and pathos to show how Ruby Franke's crimes flew under the radar for so long. It reminds us that just because someone looks perfect online or claims to have religious authority doesn't mean they are trustworthy. Abuse can hide in plain sight, especially when false social media is creating a false sense of intimacy and perfection. This is why it is important to say something when we see something. This is my reference page. If you want to check out episode 3 of Devil in the Family, The Fall of Ruby Franke, check out Sophia Campbell's video, and thank you for watching.